Both. Thank you for being here today. I'm really excited to do this. Are you both excited as well? Yes, yeah. So thank you very much for coming. So I just wanted to say I'll ask you a couple of questions and then you can give whatever answers you want. So could you each just tell me a bit about yourself? Where are you from? A little bit about your deafness? Anything you like, really. Yeah, so my name is Erik and my name is Nikolas. Oh, that's nice names. They're both short, Nick and Erik. So where are you from? We're from Slovakia. Oh, so you sign Slovakia like this, do you? Oh, I've got Slovakia as this sign. Oh, it's interesting. So, can you tell me a bit about your family, your background? Are you both deaf? Is your family deaf, or are you the only ones? So, I was born in Slovakia, but they didn't know I was deaf. Oh, so they didn't know you were deaf, or what about your family? Are any of your mum or your dad deaf? So my mum is hearing. Yeah, my mum's hearing. Oh, so is it just you two that are deaf? Yeah, just us. So do you know how you became deaf? What happened? Yes, we were born deaf. Oh, okay, brilliant. So how do you communicate with your family? So I rely a lot on lip reading. Is that the same as you, Erik? Yeah? So what's your relationship like between you? So for both of you, obviously you're brothers, you're both deaf. What is your relationship like together? Do you communicate well with each other? Do you go out together, or are you quite independent? No, we're very close. And are you learning sign language in college? No, not yet. When we arrived in the UK, in England here, we did have a hearing aid fitted. And that was when I arrived in Dover. Oh, wow. Brilliant. So what's your experience like from Slovakia in school? My experience was, it wasn't that great at school or college. Would you be all right to explain a little bit more about why that was? Mostly because the teachers they weren't very supportive. They weren't very good to me at school or college. Yeah, that's right. Did you feel that they weren't deaf aware? Is that right? Yeah, absolutely. So if you had the option, what do you think the school could do better for deaf children? I think they could have learnt sign language, made communication that bit easier. And do you think also the teachers in the school should have had training on how to support deaf students, how to communicate with them, and to make sure the deaf students are involved in the education? Yeah, definitely. Why do you think it's good to have the training? I think training would have improved the experience. I think it might also be really good if there were other deaf children that went to the school. It would improve their experience, yeah? Yeah, absolutely. So I know you were saying that you have a bad experience in school, but did you have any support or nothing? No, we had nothing. So how did you both cope with that in school without any kind of support? It was very hard. Yeah, very difficult. I felt sad. Yeah. So did you have to do everything yourself? So maybe if the teachers were talking, if you missed something, did you often feel like that? Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything more you wanted to say about that, or? Yeah, I didn't understand. So when you were in lessons, if the teacher was teaching all the students and you were sat watching and you were trying to lip read, but maybe you couldn't because the teacher wasn't looking at you or turn around, so you couldn't lip read, did you sometimes feel like you were missing things, missing information? Yeah. So did that happen a lot? Yeah, and to me as well. So what was your experience like in the classroom? Can you tell us what that was like? Yeah, it was very bad. Some of the other students would fight and the teacher would kind of shout a lot as well. It was like they don't care about the education, about the students. Wow, so was that all of the students or just you two? No, all of them, all of the students, yeah. Wow, that does sound really difficult, really bad experience. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I didn't like school at all, or college in Slovakia. Yeah, that's the same for me as well. So is that part of the reason you both moved to the UK? Did you both want kind of a better life, is that right? Yeah, definitely. And better education. So when did you both move over to England? When I was 11. Yeah, when we were both 11. So what year was that in then? That was 2011. So did you move here with your mum and dad or? Yeah, we moved with mum and dad, the whole family. So we moved here as well with my mum's brother. It must have been a completely different experience, do you think, or was it the same? No, it was different, yeah. Okay, so how was it different? I think we're quicker to learn here, and we learn English. Because in Slovakia, they didn't. Well, I didn't learn a lot there. Oh, sorry, I just stopped for 1 second. So, the question was about your experience here in the UK. So could you explain what's different or what's the same as in Slovakia? Yeah, no, it's been very different experience. So a lot of the students here and when you go to the doctors as well. They're always very helpful, and we try and write things down, and they help a lot by writing information. So yeah, it's brilliant. And also here in England, we have a lot more support for reading, writing. In Slovakia, we didn't have that. So, do you say the doctors in Slovakia aren't very helpful? Is that because you're deaf, or is that generally? So the doctors in Slovakia weren't very good there. They would also, try and shout a lot. So do you think the same as the teachers, they need training? Is that right? They need more deaf awareness? Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that'll probably really help improve things. So here in the UK, it's good that the doctors are really helpful. Has anybody else been very supportive here? In England, here? Yeah, here in England. The doctors have been supporting you. Is anyone else? Yeah, it's been much better to communicate with people. Yeah, I think in school and college as well, it was much better. So when you moved here to England, did you go to school in England or what? Yeah, we went to St. Germain School. Did you have a good experience there? Yes, yeah, we had a lot of support. Before, we didn't have a lot of friends. And it was very difficult. But when we went to school, obviously we had each other before, but when we came to England and we felt supported, the teachers were very good and they were very, very helpful. And it helped us make more friends. We met a lot of new people. So did you have a lot of friends in school then? Yeah, some. And were they other deaf students, or was it just you two who were deaf as well? No, it was just us two. Yeah. Wow. So had you met other deaf people before, or not at that point? No, at that point, no, but now obviously we have. Oh, wow, brilliant. Through college, I think we've met more deaf students, yeah, through college. There's a few. Oh, brilliant. So when you moved then into your college, you're meeting other deaf students, is that right? And what was that like for you, meeting other deaf students? It was really positive to meet other deaf people. It was brilliant. It felt really nice. Did you feel like you both fitted in more then when there were other deaf students around? Oh yeah. So can you explain why that is? I just felt more confident. Obviously I'm, signing, which was brilliant. So did you both feel like you could share your experience with other deaf students? Yeah, so when we did meet friends who were deaf, we were able to support each other. They supported us a lot, It felt very supportive and we'd kind of share. Brilliant. So if you think back, sorry, I forgot to ask you, if you think back to your school when you were younger, did you have any teaching assistants when you were younger to help you learn? So in school in Slovakia, we'd be supported, similar to having a teaching assistant with us. So the would come and help us separately. So what would they help you with? Did that help you with writing or signing? No, not signing. Not in Slovakia. We did a lot of writing to communicate. Yeah. We're relying on written and spoken communication, really, that's it. Yeah, we didn't really sign at all, no. Would you have liked to learn sign language in school? Oh, yes, yeah, definitely. So why is that then? It would have been better to communicate, better to understand, I think, just through sign language. Yeah, it would have been much better for us using sign, really. So why would that have been better? How would that have helped you in school? Well, we could have understood other students. Would you feel like you would have fitted in more had you learnt sign language, or, you could speak to anybody? Yeah, definitely. So when you were in school, you were the only 2 deaf students. So did you feel that they were deaf aware enough, or no? I mean, I don't think they understood deafness. No. They'd ask a lot about our hearing aids. So I had to explain a lot that I was deaf and that I either had or hadn't had my hearing aids. So did you feel like you had to repeat yourself that you were deaf a lot? Is that right? Yeah, very much so. So if you had the option to go back to school, what advice would you give the school to do better in the future for other deaf children? So what about the teachers and the other staff? What could they do to improve? I think they should learn sign language as well. Either BSL or Slovakian Sign Language. So I was saying maybe the staff or the teachers, if they had maybe workshops with hearing students and deaf students in together to learn more about each other. Do you think that would help? Yeah, definitely. So why is that? What would that do to help? I think we would have been able to meet more friends that way, have better relationships, because in England we learn English well so that we could have those friends. So now I can meet people and communicate with them. So some deaf students sometimes feel that they were discriminated against or bullied because of their deafness. Did either of you feel that or not? Yeah, I mean in the past, definitely. But a lot of bullying, yeah. So, for example, at the doctor, in school, we have a hearing aid now, but before, when we were in school in Slovakia, I didn't have a hearing aid. So when students were there, we didn't have friends with the students. So was that when you moved to Dover? Sorry. So did you have a bad experience in Dover? Sorry, could you repeat that, please? Yeah, of course. So when you moved to Dover, was that a bad experience in Dover? Or was it before you moved to Peterborough? Yeah, that's right. So what happened there? So first we didn't have a hearing aid. I think we'd lost it or something had happened to it. But we met some friends And then we did get the hearing aid sorted out. But when I didn't have the hearing aid on, it was very difficult to make friends and be able to communicate. Oh, okay, so it was the communication that was difficult, it was a bad experience, I see. Yeah, so that's where I felt the discrimination was that when I didn't have my hearing aid, obviously I couldn't communicate with people, so that was very difficult. So when school, did anything happen, or was it quite a good experience, or? No, in Dover it was okay. Yeah, it was pretty good there at school. Oh, so you went to school in Dover, is that right? Yes, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a bit confused. So yeah, we went to school in Dover up until a year ago. In Dover. And then we moved here to Peterborough. So did you have a bad experience as well in Dover and then a good experience? Yeah, both. Okay, so what was the good thing when you were in Dover? What good things happened? We had friends, we had other students, we had much more friends we could have conversations with. Some English and some Slovakian as well. Some Slovakian students. So it meant that communication was better for us. Oh, brilliant. So then when you moved here to England again, did you have any kind of supportive groups or support groups for deaf people, or where you could go to socialise? No, we didn't have that. Wow, so when you moved to Peterborough, did you have any kind of deaf social groups? No, still not then. But obviously now we have support from CDA. Was that CDA or CDE? Yeah, no, CDA. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's brilliant. So is that through CDA you went out to more deaf social groups? Yeah, hopefully. Why is it important for you both to meet more deaf people? I think it just improves my confidence massively. I think it'll improve my sign language as well. Yeah, it's much better to sign with people. Oh, brilliant. So do you feel that by signing you fit in well, you can build that relationship? Why do you think that helps you both? Yeah, I mean, just having that communication is much better. And I'm learning a lot of sign language as well. Oh, brilliant. So also, do you think that you're learning a bit about different cultures as well, having moved here? Yeah, definitely. So in what way? A lot, really. It's different culture here, different in Slovakia, and meeting a variety of people as well. Oh, that's really interesting that you're meeting lots of different people and that, you know, you're kind of learning all of their different experiences. That must help a lot. So you've both experienced a lot, you know, throughout your life. So, say for example, if someone new wanted to move here in England, what advice would you give them? I think really to learn sign language, to learn BSL, that'd be brilliant. What else? What other kind of advice would you give them? Just to meet up with friends, yeah. And ask for support or help when you need it. So say for example, if someone arrived here in England and they didn't know where to go, how would you direct them? Where would you direct them to say? I would show them, I'd probably show them kind of where to find the support, how to meet different friends, either through school or college. And also, to kind of register with a doctor, to ask them for support too. So if somebody was to move here to England and they have difficulties communicating, or maybe they're not getting support or information, how would you communicate that to them? I'd probably use writing. Yeah, I'd write it down. Do you think it's important for other people to understand how you feel, to have that relationship? Yeah, definitely. And why is that? I think, sharing those experiences, sharing your interests is the best. And I think that's really helped me, and I can help others too. Do you think maybe they'd feel nervous, or, that new people would meet you and then feel better and more relaxed, knowing what to do? Yeah, hopefully. So, on to the next set of questions. So some deaf people kind of identify that they have a disability and some don't. What's your view about that? So I've had a bit of experience of depression when I've faced barriers and making friends. If you've got health problems and things like that, difficulties like that, and that is linked to my deafness, yeah. So the next question for you both is, some deaf people feel that their deafness is a disability. So I'd really like to ask you, do you feel the same? No, I don't think deafness is a disability. Okay, so why is that then? I think, because we're just deaf, we don't physically use a wheelchair. Oh, sorry, what was that? Like a wheelchair, we don't have a wheelchair. So you don't think deafness is a disability? No? No, I don't feel disabled. It's because you're just deaf, is that right? Yeah, no, that's right. Okay, so can you explain that a little bit more? So just because we're deaf, it doesn't mean we can't do anything. We can still do things, we can do anything. So for example, if a deaf person met you and they said, I can't do this and I can't do this, you're saying, yes, you can. Is that right? So how would you encourage them? What words would you use to show them that you can do it? Yeah, I think encouraging people is really important. They need to achieve their goals, improve. So you feel deaf people can do anything they want, is that right? Yeah, absolutely. So is there any examples of what you think they can do? I mean, hairdressing, for example. Or, we could write reports, we could be a teacher, a doctor, a policeman, anything. So what do you both do at the moment? You're in college, are you working? What do you do? Yeah, so I'm learning hairdressing in college at the moment, and I'm still learning at the moment, and I'm hopefully learning more sign language, and in the future I'm looking for work. So Nick, what about you? So in the future, what I'd like to do is study business. That's what I'm doing at the moment. Oh, sorry, what was that? Business. Yeah, studying business. And obviously learning more sign language. So what future jobs do you both want? I'd like to work in an office. Yeah. And what would you like to do in the office? Well, I'd like to do hairdressing. Yeah. Yeah, any kind of hairdressing. Oh, hairdressing, brilliant. So Nick, what would you be doing in your office? I'd like to work on computers. Oh, brilliant. That sounds great. And so are you both excited to finish college and go off to work? Explore the world? Yeah, definitely. Why? What is it you're looking forward to? I think new experiences, learning. And I think every year, I've done different things. And I'm currently studying ESOL as well, which is a course. Oh, that's brilliant. Fantastic. It's really interesting. So this is the last question. So if people are watching you today, what's your one message to other people today? So I think it's important to say deaf people can do anything. There might be barriers, but if you focus, you can achieve and you can be happy. What about you, Nick? Do you feel the same? Yeah. I think have the confidence to ask for help as well. That's it. Brilliant. Well, thank you both so much for coming and for doing this today. I've really enjoyed myself and hopefully you've enjoyed yourselves too. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Oh, thank you.